Day 9:35. It's 8:46 p.m. Just got home from church. I was there most of the day today. Got some good work done, helped out with outreach, did an amazing coaching call. And then we had prayer night. This prayer night was different because there wasn't a ton of people there. So our campus pastor had us all like sit in a circle and just kind of like share and talk. And it's so interesting. Like this one girl was like asking questions and I had answers. And I just like, it's crazy. Like there's this timidity to speak. And I know it's not me. Like I know it's a spiritual warfare thing. But it's like there are so many times I could have jumped in and shared and answered questions and spoke because our pastor was just letting like everyone answer questions. And I had the answers and I didn't speak up. And it's so interesting because I'm just sitting there and I'm aware that I have the answer and I'm not saying anything. And I'm aware that when I want to start saying something, there's like this feeling of like embarrassment, which is so strange. And I'm becoming aware of this. Like when at church, when the attention turns to me, I get like really embarrassed for some reason. And I know this is spiritual warfare. This is an enemy attack for sure. And I'm not worried about it. I'm aware of it. And I know it's only temporary. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I have this thought like, Chris, see yourself the way God sees you. And I immediately sat up and I just pictured myself like sitting in this chair with like a crown on my head. Like, Chris, you're royalty. You're a child of God. And all these people here, you were meant to lead. And I sat there and I was just like, wow. And it's crazy because I didn't feel anxious about it or stressed or upset. I just became very aware of it. And I'm like, this is interesting. Okay, this is an interesting season that I'm in. This is an interesting battle tactic of the enemy. Of course, he doesn't want me to speak in church. Of course, he doesn't want me to shine my light in church. Of course, he wants me embarrassed to speak at church. Of course, he wants me to be shy at church. Of course, he wants me to be small and timid at church. And so I'm just sitting there just observing it. And I don't feel stressed or worried about it because I know it's just a matter of time. I know that this too shall pass. Like God is also working in me, and it's just so interesting. Like out of that whole group of people, like I'm a speaker. Like I'm meant for a group like that to answer questions, to lead, to inspire, to speak life into. And I was quiet. It was also, to be honest, really nice to just sit there and not speak. That was like, this is relaxing. I don't have to have any of the answers, even though God has given me a lot of the answers. It's just like, but it's just interesting to be able to sit there and just see, like, okay, this is new. This is a new strategy of the enemy. All right. Well, it won't last very long. And I could see why he would use this strategy. Because when I start speaking in that church, it's going to shift things. So, yeah, just super interesting. And what was really cool is I'm sitting there next to our pastor, and it's just like, man, 7 months ago, something like that, November, December, 6 months ago, I was in an internship, and I was a student, just like asking so many questions, and it's crazy how quickly God has taken me from a student to a teacher, from a disciple to an apostle, like someone who's leading and teaching other disciples. And I just sat there and I was like, wow. Because a lot of the questions they were asking, I was asking those kind of questions when I was in the internship. And now I'm on the other end where I can powerfully answer those questions. And it's like, wow, thank you, God. You've taken me so far, so quickly. You've given me so much wisdom. It is crazy for the short amount of time that I've been pursuing you. It's just like, wow. So was a really good, I loved it. It was like, normally I'd feel bad, like, oh my gosh, you didn't say anything. And I'm just not worried about it. Like, I know it's temporary, and I'm aware of the spiritual attack, and I can see it, and I'm aware of it. Like, when I go to talk, I immediately start to feel embarrassed. Okay. That's some decent spiritual warfare, but I see it. And so it's temporary. It's a good tactic though, because my number one gift is speaking. And so of course the enemy wants me to feel uncomfortable speaking. He wants me to be embarrassed when I speak. So yeah, just interesting. But greater is he who is in me than he who is in the world. So it's just a matter of time. This too shall pass. So I'm not worried about it. It's actually a really cool thing to just observe. To just observe and not be in it. Like not think it's me. Knowing it's not me, that this is spiritual warfare in the process, and to be able to zoom out and just see it operating and feel it operating, but not being attached to it or not being stuck in it, just like observing it. That was really cool. So I feel very peaceful. So yeah, I'm gonna go study the Bible, drink some tea, and go to bed. I'll be back at church tomorrow. Tomorrow's my X18 group where I get to lead all the guys from the mission. So yeah.